risk. In your opinion as a health physicist, the Santa Susana Field Lab is a couple miles from communities like West Hills and Simi Valley. Would you believe there would be any off-site risk from any radioactive contamination that would be at the site?
No, there would not be, especially now that it's cleaned up to the standards, at least of the federal government and the state government. That the off-site risk would be would not be non-existent from that material. Because you has to, first of all, you have to travel that distance. If you're saying it's going to travel on the wind, it's going to get dispersed on the wind, if there's any there to begin with at all. But you're already down to the levels of background, so all you're doing is blowing background around. And we all have to live in the background radiation. We all get 360 milligram a year, plus what we get from x-rays, and we get from CAT scans, and we get from those things. And this would be less than one, or it would be, you couldn't even measure, it would be less than 1% of the contribution.
The previous cleanup standard for cesium-137 was 9 picocuries per gram. I don't know if that was an industrial standard or if that was a risk-based standard. In your opinion, as someone that worked for the NRC as a health physicist, would you assume that that was the guidelines of a particular day, that was a risk-based? Can you explain that better?
Probably not. Yeah, it's the determination is risk-based. There's no question about that. But how many years have gone by? 50 years have gone by where it's decayed now by at least one and a half times already. So the risk is going down every day that goes by, if there is any risk at all, which I don't think that there is, because we've already cleaned it up. They're very close to background.
So would you believe that people that are at a distance several miles away would get a dose that's enough to cause any illness from these radionuclides that they would be inhaling if they're several miles away?
The problem with that question is that same jolt could be coming from the natural radiation as becoming something that they might get. What is the probability of them getting something off of that site versus what they're getting from natural radiation? The probability is extremely, extremely low. It will be coming from off-site. If they got it from natural radiation where they live, even if there had never been a plant there, that's a totally different story. And now we're not talking about the chemical problems of Rocketdyne now. We're just talking about the radiation.
So, for example, we know in the soil there's naturally occurring uranium, thorium,
That's correct,
radium, and radon, and therefore it's difficult to determine when they find uranium and things like that, which is from on-site activities. Can you speak to that?
You don't know. I mean, how can I speak to that? We're down in the same level as the natural background. So, I mean, nobody's gone out and tagged those 1 or 2 atoms that were on the site against the billions of atoms that you're living in every day.